Hello, friends. Welcome to this full body vinyasa flow. We'll take a minute to get grounded, seated on our mats. Take a moment to scan the body from the tips of your toes all the way up to the crown of your head. Notice any thoughts, feelings, or sensations that might be present as you slowly shift your awareness to your breathing in and out through the nostrils. And allow yourself to simply be just as you are, right in this moment. And I invite you to open the eyes, and we'll lift the arms up to the sides and extend over to the left side, lengthening through the waist. And we'll inhale, come back through center, grow tall. Exhale over to the other side, lengthening through the side body, just warming up the spine here. And back through center, over to the other side, getting a little bit more reach. And through center, over to the other side. And we'll inhale through center, lengthen the spine, and we'll have a little twist over to the right. And inhale back through center, over to the left, just a little twist. And we'll inhale, roll tall over to the right again. And back through center, over to the other side. And back through center, hands on the knees. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, seated, cats and cows. So go with the breath here, hollow out the belly. Inhale, come forward. And now we'll do some torso circles. And reverse directions. We're lifting the chest and exhale backwards, rounding the spine. And then we'll come through tabletop. Just setting up now. Once you're in tabletop, we'll shift forward and back, warming the wrists. And we'll inhale, extend the right leg long, exhale, knee to nose. And we'll do that 2 more times. Extend the leg and bring the knee to the nose. And 1 more time here, knee to nose, exhale all the air out. And then we'll come into a kneeling half bow. So exhale, right leg long, flex the left leg, grasp the top of the right foot with your left hand. Lift and press your foot into your hand. Sternum is lifted. Release. And back through tabletop. And the other side now, left leg lifts and knee to nose. Exhale the air out. And 2 more times like that. And we'll get ready for our kneeling half bow on this side. So really press your foot into your hand, lift the sternum. And release back through tabletop. And sit back into child's pose. An option to crawl the fingertips over to the right, getting a little more length in the left side body. And crawling the fingertips over to the left side now. And lean in the opposite direction. And we'll come back through center. And we'll bend the elbows with hands in prayer, hands to the sky. And release. And we'll make our way through tabletop into our first downward dog. Really press your palms into the mat. Have a nice softness in your knees. And then we'll come forward into plank, shift forward and back. Just a few times here. And then we'll come onto the knees and bring our whole body down to the mat and rise up for 3 baby cobras. Elbows are into the sides of your body. Again, just warming up the spine and the back. And we'll come up through tabletop, back into downward dog. If it's calling to you, pedal out the feet. Remember, this is your practice. And we'll bring the right leg extended high. And then look forward and bring the right foot between your hands. Set up for a low lunge. Back foot is laying on the mat or flexed. Your front knee is over the ankle, arms extend up. And we'll exhale, open arm twist to the right. And we'll inhale, come back through center. And then we'll meet our hands to the mat, extend the right leg long, and fold forward. Torso is long into half splits. And release back to tabletop and back into your downward dog. So really push all your fingers and your palms into the mat. Softness in the knees. And we'll bring the left leg up. And then look forward and bring the left foot down between the hands and come into a low lunge on this side. Knee is stacked over the ankle. Extend the arms long and up towards the sky. An option to exhale into an open arm twist to the left. And inhale, come back through center, extend the arms up. Exhale, hands to the mat, and we'll set up for half splits on this side. Remember to keep the torso long. And when you exhale, sink a little bit deeper, just to where it's comfortable for you. And we'll come up through tabletop. And we'll have a few rounds of cat-cow here. Remember to really hollow out the belly and exhale all the air out when we're in cat. And last cat-cow here. And we'll come onto the toes and shift back into downward dog. Bend the knees, look forward, step to the top of your mat, slowly roll up to standing. Inhale, extend the arms high. Exhale, bend the knees, sit back into chair pose. Ground down onto your left foot and lift the right foot up. And release the right foot down and bring the left foot up and back to the mat. Take our right foot back and step into Warrior Two. And we'll flip the palm and reverse your Warrior Two. And back through Warrior Two. You can shorten the stance just a little bit, micro bend in the knee, and we'll come into triangle. So you really want to feel the lengthening and a nice stretch in your left leg here. And we'll come back up through to Warrior Two. And take a big step up to the top of your mat and sit in chair. Hands come to prayer. And we'll have a prayer twist to the right. Shoulder blades are squeezing together. Lift and open the chest. Gazes towards the sky. And we'll step back with our left leg here into a lunge prayer twist. Really turn the chest open to the right side. Bring down your left hand to meet the mat and step your way into a side plank. Option here is to lift the top leg, pull your navel into your spine, activate both of your arms, reach through your fingertips and your elevated leg, and bring the leg down. Both hands to the mat now. Come into plank and meet in downward dog. And we'll bend the knees, look forward, step to the top of your mat. Slowly come up. And on the other side, inhale the arms high, and we'll sit into chair pose. Bring the right leg up, ground into the left foot. Lift and hover the left foot. And then we'll take a step back with our left foot into Warrior Two on this side. My knee is over my ankle. Really extend through the fingertips, through the right and the left arm. And then we'll flip the palm and come back into a reverse warrior. And back through Warrior Two. Option to shorten the stance a little bit, and we'll come into a triangle on this side. And release, come back up briefly into Warrior Two. And look forward, step up to the top of your mat, sit back into chair. And then chair pose twist on the left side now. Shoulder blades drawn toward each other. Chest is open to the left. And if you did it on the other side, option to step the right leg back into lunge prayer twist. And really opening up the sternum here, broaden through the collarbones. Look up if it's available to you. An option to bring the right hand down to the mat and step into your version of a side plank. You can also bring the right knee down. Option to extend the lifted leg, the top leg. Really balance here. Draw the navel into the spine, really press into the mat. A lot of going on here. And bring the lifted leg down to side plank. Make your way into a plank and chaturanga or meet in downward dog. And from downward dog, we will lift the right leg high and bring the right foot forward and lift right into a crescent lunge. Engage the core. Arms extended high. And we'll get ready to lean forward. Arms extended, and we'll carefully launch into Warrior 3. Root the right foot into the earth. And while lengthening the standing leg, soften the knee just a little. And then we'll come up into a one-legged Tadasana. Option here is to grab on to the left big toe with your right hand and extend the leg here. And then you have an option, if you'd like, to revolve over to the left side. An option to come into an eagle with the left leg over the right leg, left arm under the right arm. If it's available to you, try to bring the elbows up towards your shoulders. Really press into your right leg and step back carefully into a crescent lunge with eagle arms. Strong legs here. Option to interlace the hands behind your back. Come into a baby back bend. And then we'll release here, come down into chaturanga or meet in downward facing dog. And we'll get right into the other side. Extend the left leg high, bring the knee in, place the foot between your hands. Step up into crescent lunge. And we'll lean forward and carefully come into a warrior 3 on this side. Softness in the standing leg. And we'll carefully come into a one-legged Tadasana. And then we'll grab on to the right big toe with your left hand. Option to extend the leg here. And if it's available to you, open up and revolve over to the right. Open arm twist. A lot going on here. We've got twisting, we have balancing. And we'll look forward, back through center, and set up for eagle on this side. Right leg is over the left leg. Right arm is under the left arm. If it's available to you, you can bring your elbows up toward your shoulders. Gazes forward, palms are pushing in towards each other. And We'll step back carefully into a crescent lunge, keeping our eagle arms. And option 2, interlace the fingers behind your back and come into a baby back bend. And release here, hands to the mat. Come through a chaturanga. Sit back into child's pose. And we'll release and we'll sit up. Lay down on the mat, just sneaking in a little bit of core. We'll do a few eagle crunches, so right leg on top of the left, right arm under the left. And we'll exhale, crunch, and you bring the elbows towards the knee and release. A few more like this. So exhale, crunch all the air out, inhale, come back to the mat. And we'll do the other side. Left leg is over the right leg, left arm is under the right arm. When you're crunching up, really exhale all the air out. And then option here is to place the hands behind your head, and we'll just do a few crunches, extend the legs long. You can either bring the feet back towards the ground or you can hover at the top of the mat. And then the last bit here, option to have a hollow hold. Really squeeze the core, squeeze your abdominals, and release. And we'll set up for Sphinx pose. Neck is in line with the spine, chest pushes up and forward. Fingers are spread wide, hands are pushing into the mat. Navel is drawn into the spine. Feet are about hip distance apart. And release down to the mat. Extend the arms out in front of you. So we'll inhale, lift the right leg, and then lift the left arm. Then we'll do the same on the other side. And now lift both the legs and both arms at the same time. And slightly brace your core when you lift, and then return to the mat. And we'll prepare for bow pose. Bend your knees, reach back with your hands, grasp your ankles, press your shins back to lift the shoulders up off the mat. Lift the knees off the mat and bring your shoulders up. Gazes forward. And release back to the mat. And we'll sit onto our mats, extend the legs long, and come in for a forward fold here. You can bend the knees as much as you need. Take this time for a little bit of release of the legs. There's a lot of leg work here, a lot of balancing, a lot of strength. And we'll release. And we'll release now and come into a revolved seated hand to big toe. So with our left hand grasping around our right foot, we'll open over to the right. And we'll release this side. And then using your right hand, grasping the outside of your left foot, and we'll open up to the other side for a revolved seated hand to toe, although your hand can be on the side of your foot. And release back to center. And we'll set up for lizard on the right side. So we extend the left leg long behind us. The right foot is over to the right side of the mat. And the option here is to bring your right hand on your right knee and open the chest over to the right. You can also come onto the right edge of your right foot. And we'll bring our foot back to the center of the mat. And we'll set up for a bit of a quad stretch here on the left side. Just grasping your left foot and bending your knee, bring your foot towards your body. And release and come through tabletop, and we'll do lizard on the left side now. Nice hip opener here. Feeling the opening in the left side. Option to come on to the outer edges of the left foot. Hand on the left knee, opening up to the left. And we'll come back through center. And option to have a quadricep stretch on the right leg now. And release the quadricep stretch. And we'll come back through tabletop. And we'll set up for our Savasana, laying on our backs. Or you can do this in a seated position if that feels more comfortable to you. And I invite you to close your eyes or soften the gaze. Inhale deeply and exhale slowly. Release the jaw, the cheeks. Soften the area around your eyes. Soften your forehead. Any tension in your neck, shoulders, arms, all the way down through your fingertips. Send the breath throughout your whole body, all the way down your legs, down to the tips of your toes. Allow rest to arrive and integrate your practice. And when you're ready, bring your awareness back to your mat. You can either stay here in a restful Savasana, or when you're ready, you can gently open your eyes and come back into a seat. Thank you for joining this practice, yogis. Be well. Namaste.